Okay, so were there warning signs? Sure. Tiny ones, like little. So I noticed as I was getting ready, to leave for the trip, he was sending me these emails like, are you studying the SAT? And we have two, very smart students who are already scoring nearly perfect scores. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now. Like, you need to calm that down a little bit because you were in the same class that I was. This was not teaching English as a foreign language and SAT on the side. Like, no, like that was not, so I didn't even understand where this was coming from. I mean, low key, I didn't even take the SAT, like I only had to take the ACT back, when I was in high school. I didn't tell him that though. But, as they say, good teachers are born, not made. And I feel like I am a born teacher and I've been told that and, whatever. So I was confident and just felt like, hey, show me what you need me to teach and I'll teach it, because if anything, I'm going to be able to use, the students' knowledge. And if there's something, I'm going to help, have the students almost like teach me the information in a sense. So, I bought my SAT books, but again, I only had a few, months to even prepare for this trip. Why rack my brain trying to teach the SAT to myself when I don't even know like what his curriculum is, or anything. So I just kind of tabled that. So I sent him an email and then he did reply and he was kind of like, okay, true. If you're open to learning, that's fine. And then he was trying to get me to bring like a bunch of SAT books, like literally 4 days before I'm getting ready to leave. Like he wants to send me these about 10 different books and novels, and as if I don't have enough to do. So I was going to order them on Amazon, and then he said he would reimburse me and pay. And then when I showed him like how much it would cost because he waited so late, then he changed his mind and was like, okay, don't worry about it and everything. I'm like, okay, great. Even though I know you're not really supposed to be bringing like a lot of like educational material sometimes into other countries. So I was already kind of a little leery about that. Okay, fast forward. So now I'm in Indonesia. Picks me up from the airport. His driver, picks us up. It's very common to have drivers here and everything. So we're riding in the car, right? And he starts talking to me about, oh gosh, how did it even start? I don't even know how it all started, but I think he was like, yeah, we gotta, kind of get used to each other, and, I have to learn his working style, teaching style. He's got to learn my working and teaching style. And I said, oh yeah, I totally agree. I said, definitely, because I was under no illusion. This is this man's business. He owns the school. So I know how it is to own a business. I've worked for myself in the past before. So I know everything is on you, and, you have to do things, whatever it takes to get things done. So I was under no illusions that the visiting, study abroad student for a year in Berkeley, California that I met during the program is going to be the same guy, who lives in Indonesia, who has his school. So I said, oh yeah. And I said, yeah, we got to, understand how to work together. I said, because that would be like miserable for both of us, to be, not getting along or I don't even think I said that. I was just like, it just wouldn't be a good working relationship, for a whole year. That would be miserable or something to that effect. And then he turns and he said something like, yeah, blah, 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 yeah, blah, blah, because if not, I'm going to take you to court. And I'm like, take me to court? Like, okay, it's been like 15 minutes. I just traveled 2 days or 24 hours to come here. And in our first 30 minutes of a conversation, you're talking about how you might need to take me to court. So I knew that was like, no, that's something ain't right. But then at the same time, I tried to kind of rationalize it because I was so committed. I was kind of like, oh, come on, dude. Like that would never, we would never get to that. You know what I mean? Okay. And then we keep talking and he's like, okay, we're going to, go to the apartment, drop off your bags, and we'll get some lunch on me. And, we can go find you a cell phone and, if you need to get some groceries or water or something, whatever you need. And then, hey, I'm going to treat you to a massage, reflexology, which is very common, in this culture and everything. So I was like, and then he's like, and then I'll come by your house and you can rest for a little bit and hey, let's go out and get a beer, and I'm like, yeah, because he's a very like, fun and upbeat guy like that, so it's like, yeah, you definitely would want to have a beer with SKB, so I was like, yeah, that's cool, and we totally got along in California, so I was looking forward to it. So long story short, get to the apartment, and at least from the outside, it was not really looking like what I was expecting, but it was hard to gauge because you're in a new culture and, I just couldn't tell, like, is this, on the low end? Is this average? Is this really nice for this area? I really didn't know. So I'm like, well, maybe it just looks funny in the lobby, So then we go up to the apartment. We go to one floor, and then the landlord's getting ready to open the door, and it's like we're on the wrong floor. And he was like laughing kind of nervous. Something about that didn't sit well with me. Then we go down, maybe 2 floors down, I think on the 16th floor, yeah. Walk into the apartment, and I wrote about this and blogged about this. It was a mess. It looked like somebody literally just moved out 2 minutes before we walked in the door, I mean, still jars in the refrigerator, there's soap. I'm like, what is this? I mean, I could not even comprehend it in the moment. Okay. So then I look at the place. It kind of looks, the place didn't suck. Okay. It reminded me more of a kind of a college apartment dorm or just a college, apartment kind of thing or whatever. It's it was 2 bedroom, 1 bath, you had a little balcony. Yeah, I just didn't even know what to make of it. So obviously I looked around, I'm like, is he going to clean this? And so then they're like, oh yeah, everyone, oh yeah, oh yes, we're going to clean this. Oh yeah, So then I'm thinking it's a cultural thing, because it's not the United States is anal about cleanliness. I mean, it's not all clean in the United States, but I mean, it's we're all into disinfecting things and constant using chemicals to clean, and we get really kind of crazy about it, so, and then I know it's it's a poor country here, but don't get it twisted. There's a lot of money here too. There's a lot of oil and people hide their money, in Indonesia, a lot of wealthy people do. So there's a lot of money here. And then it's also a very centralized trading location in Asia. So anyway, I thought it was a cultural thing. Plus I was so tired I couldn't even comprehend anything. So I thought, okay, maybe it's something where once you say that you want the apartment, then they'll invest the money into clean, because maybe they're poor and they're not going to just invest a bunch of money. I didn't know what the situation was or how things worked. I just had to trust. So we leave there, and like I said, my head is spinning. I mean, I've been traveling for 24 hours. And then on top of that, I had been moving at lightning speed for 2 months, literally, since I, completed my certification in order to get everything done and to get everything organized to move, within a month and a half. So I just surrendered. I was like, okay, I'm here. If it's not clean when we come back, I can always just, go to a hotel or something. So we leave, and then he starts taking me to all these places. We go to the restaurant to eat. I couldn't even eat because I was just jet lag, and my system was off. So I think I just had some spinach, forced some spinach down, had some water. He ate. He was starving, so let him eat. Then he was like, okay, now we got to go get you a cell phone. And he was trying to get a SIM card, because they don't have plans here. You get a SIM card and you just load it up. And my iPhone was not unlocked. They're like, you got to unlock your iPhone. And I mean, my mind, it's I couldn't even think, I'm just even trying to grasp like the currency and, you know, the conversion rate and all of that. Then we go to exchange money. He told me to bring crisp $100 bills with me to Indonesia. I thought it was a little odd too. I mean, I've been all over the world, and, you know, A, you can usually get money out the ATM, you know, fairly well. B, you know, depending on where you go, it's not always great to be bringing like too much money, you know, too much cash with you, you know, having it on your person, because you can get robbed or, you know, anything can happen. So I like to have a combination of, you know, both, some cash and then have my ATM card too. I will say I didn't bring a bunch of $100 bills. I was going through this whole transition with my bank, you know, because I was like trying not to continue my relationship with Bank of America, and I still had a small bank that I banked with in another part of the country. So, like, I just couldn't run in and exchange to get literally crisp $100 bills. I thought I could do it at the airport, and then I couldn't, and then they didn't even have the correct currency at the San Francisco airport anyway. But, you know, needless to say, I still had money. So we go to the currency place, and then this dude, like, he tries to get loud with me or whatever, like, I can't believe you didn't, you know, bring these 100. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now. Like, you have to, like, calm down. Like, I don't know why you're getting all crazy and everything. Like the way he was acting, you would think that like you would not be able to exchange money unless you had $100 bills. So then, you know, I'm taking out my money, and I'm like, well, look, this is what I have, you know. And so then he tells me that apparently if you have crisp, fresh $100 bills, supposedly that means you will get a higher exchange rate. This may or may not be true. I have no idea. But I'm like, oh, that's it? Like, I mean, our currency, it's like one US dollar equals 9,300 rupiah. So, I mean, I don't know. I know exchange rates are important, but I'm not one of those travelers who gets like super crazy about the exchange rate. I know some people do, like they are like, you know, down to the point and everything, but as long as I'm getting like, you know, the best advantage I can get, which usually we can with the dollar in most places, then fine, you know. Like 50 cents is not going to make, I mean, yes, it makes a difference, but I'm not going to stress about it, you know. But I didn't like him getting kind of loud, and I just thought it was like very rude and inconsiderate for somebody who's like literally been in the country an hour, you know. And like I said, he never explained to me about, you know, having these crisp $100 bills equals a higher exchange rate. To this day, I don't know if that's true or not, and whatever. So the next thing we do is we end up going to the reflexology place. So he paid. I got this cool girl named Wendy who was my massage. Well, she just did the reflexology, like the chair massage and everything. So he paid for a 90-minute treatment. Mind you, I haven't been back to my hotel yet. I haven't rested, but, you know, sometimes that's good because you can kind of get on the time, you know, the time zone. So I went to reflexology, and, you know, she worked all the pressure points and, you know, just kind of like, you know, just moves your energy, your chi around, and, you know, just helps like release toxins. And I mean, I was so thankful for that because I really did need that treatment. So like 90 minutes later, I'm all blissed out. I go back to my apartment, like, please let this apartment be clean. So I go in, and it was very clean. You know, it didn't even look like how it did before. So I was like, okay, you know, that was just a cultural thing, and okay, great, you know, kind of looked around. And then